How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another episode of me documenting my trading journey. So, I did miss yesterday, but nothing really happened. I didn't take a trade. I didn't want to miss another day today, even though I didn't take a trade again today. But I didn't want to go 2 days without uploading. So, I wanted to go over what I'm looking at for tomorrow and see if I can get into a trade before the end of the week. So, today we had unemployment claims, came in lower than expected. So, no reason for dollar to be bearish. And then tomorrow we have the unemployment rate and non-farm, so that'll be at 5:30. So we'll see what those numbers come out to, and then look at the charts to see what if there's anything we can get into. So today, dollar didn't really do anything. It did potentially, it did distribute. The only thing is that this didn't really come into a POI, so I'm gonna wait and see if tomorrow we can make a new high, which essentially would be like a reaccumulation, and then maybe look for a sweep of Asia and look for a schematic to take higher. There is divergence with EU. Dollar made this lower low here, and then if we go to EU, go to EU, it made a lower high. So hopefully London can confirm the redistribution, and then I'll probably take something to mitigate this candle. So look for the upper level sweep of Asia, and then if not, then the 50s. Also look for a schematic there. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And then if not, then I just want it to come a little bit higher. Probably mitigate Trump's speech from yesterday, because it did hit this upper level, and then we broke order flow to the downside and redistribute here. So if it does come higher, I'll look for a schematic there, and then if not, then I'll probably just base it off dollar, just because EU did come higher, and then for dollar there's still a lot more room. But yeah, G, I'm not looking at anything because there's a bank holiday tomorrow, and then same thing for NU and AU. I just wanted to confirm the redistro. So maybe it'll do that tomorrow, and then next week it'll give a pullback so we can get an entry. AU, I did miss a trade. It did distribute here and then gave an entry. Let's see. So this did distribute. Did give a schematic here. This is a valid distribution, and then it broke. Gave a break of structure there, and then if we measure out this move, it came into this blue level, and then I would have probably split risk on the blue and red, so that would have been a 14 pip stop. Actually, would I have taken that? No, let's see. Probably not that whole move. I probably just want to measure this move then. Still a nine pip stop loss. It's still pretty big, but to the low, it is worth it. So yeah, I probably would have taken that at this if I would have measured out this move. But I did miss that. I think it was mostly because I had my alerts higher up, and it just didn't trigger, so I wasn't even looking at AU. But it did give a valid distro. I wish I would have saw it, but yeah, I had my alerts like up here, so I wasn't really close. And then NU wasn't in a point of interest either, so there's no reason for me to look as a correlation type of trade. And then USD JPY, I want it to reaccumulate. Looks like it's going to make its way up there. And then once it does, I'll just measure out this whole move and then look for a schematic to take higher. Because we did accumulate in an area of demand. This is a valid accumulation. It is a type 2, so there's no manipulation. But yeah, if it reaccumulates, then yeah, I'll take it. And then if not, then hopefully this reaccumulation can break something. But if not, I'll just wait for accumulation and then just have smaller risk. If it does not reaccumulate and goes lower, then there's still this lower level that I can look at. And then lastly, we'll look at indices. So indices did what I wanted. It just didn't give a valid schematic for me to take. Did come into the 50%, this blue level. And then today, all it did was sweep Asia. So this is we did distribute. Now I just want to see if it redistributes. And then if not, I'll just look for something higher, because there's nothing for me to take on lower time frame here. So yeah, either go higher or I want it to break. And then I'll take a pullback. And that's the same with all the other ones. Nas did the same thing, distributed, didn't give a manipulation. So hopefully it can come a little bit higher and then give a schematic. US 30 is a little bit different. So US 30 is pretty much at the point of interest, like where I would not take a trade anymore. But if it does go above, I'll probably base the trade off of SPX and NASDAQ. But yeah, maybe during London it'll confirm the redistro. But yeah, that's all I had for today. I wish I would have got into that AU trade yesterday, but it's whatever. But Thursday there's nothing. So that's it for today's episode. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.